Honourable member for Courtenay-Alberni.
Speaker, there's a situation in Union Bay on Vancouver Island in my riding. Bain Sound, which is located on the east coast of Vancouver Island, is a 40-kilometre long channel and is responsible for half of BC's shellfish production. It's part of a 14-hectare provincial shellfish reserve. And now, it's also the last major herring spawning ground in the province and is recognized by DFO as an ecologically and biologically significant area. It's also under immense pressure. Now, in December 2020, a shipbreaking operation moved in to Union Bay, where rusty vessels, ferries, and barges' old U.S. survey boats are cut up and recycled for scrap metal. Shipbreaking is an important industry, as you can imagine. We want to get rid of derelict and abandoned vessels. We want to make sure that we do the right thing and recycle huge amounts of steel. But it's also one of the most hazardous industries in the world. Astonishingly, Canada doesn't have any shipbreaking regulations, Madam Speaker. And as a result, companies can quickly set up operations and begin dismantling vessels before regulators are even aware of their activity. Transport Canada says regulations are being considered and should be ready in the next 3 to 5 years. Now that, seriously, as we can imagine, is not good enough. Canada could adopt the most stringent international regulations now if it wanted to. Much of the world's shipbreaking happens in countries with poor environmental and labor laws. About 70% of international shipbreaking happens on the shores of India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, making up about 90% of the industry's gross tonnage. Around 12% of Bangladesh's shipbreaking workforce are minors, aged 14 to 17 years old. And now, Madam Speaker, in the shipbreaking yards, minors often work at night because they have school during the day, earning $3 a day. We need to be more responsible for all our waste, including vessels at end of life, and ensuring that human rights violations aren't taking place. We have a robust shipbuilding industry emerging here in Canada that we need to invest in. And we could take on a lot of shipbreaking here too. It could be a huge opportunity, in fact, Madam Speaker. Now, the risks of shipbreaking are huge. These old ships contain asbestos, heavy metals like mercury and lead, polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs, carcinogenic polycyclic or aromatic hydrocarbons, contaminated bilge water, and ballast water containing sediment and bioorganisms. These toxins affect both employees and their families because things like asbestos can be carried home on their clothes, but we know what it can do to the environment, Madam Speaker. Now, the industry suffers fatalities too due to falls, fires, explosions, and falling debris. Now, the NGO Shipbreakings Platform website lists 429 deaths and 344 injuries just since 2009, but that number is likely much higher due to the underreporting by these companies. Now, there's international conventions, Madam Speaker. There's 3 regulating shipbreaking: the Basel Convention, the Hong Kong Convention, and the EU ship recycling regulations. Now, the Basel Convention was ratified by Canada in 1992. And is intended to stop developed countries from shipping hazardous waste, including old ships, to developing countries. It provides recommendations on procedures, processes, and practices to ensure safe and environmentally sound practices and advice on monitoring and verification of environmental performance. It has been difficult to apply the Basel Convention to ships going for breaking, and shipping companies often falsely deny ships that are intended to be scrapped and instead claim that they're going to yard repairs. Now, Canada feeds into the toxic trade economy by selling commercial fleets, like BC Ferries internationally. These shipping companies need to be more responsible, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary and the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of National Safety.
I'm pleased to stand here, Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Transport. Speaker, the Government of Canada recognizes the importance of safe and environmentally sound practices for the dismantling and recycling of ships. We are aware of concerns raised about ship recycling activities being conducted in Union Bay on provincial land. In Canada, Speaker, as you know, responsibility for regulating waste management, including shipbreaking, is shared amongst various levels of government. Canada has a strong safety and environmental record for ship recycling. To ensure its continued leadership, Transport Canada is exploring, in partnership with provincial and territorial governments, whether there may be ways to enhance Canada's ship recycling rules. This includes examining requirements under the European Union's ship recycling regulation and the 2009 Hong Kong International Convention for the safe and environmentally sound recycling of ships. Shipbreaking is recognized as the most environmentally sound method to dispose of ships at end of life, as most of the ship's materials can be reused and repurposed. Of course, this assumes the ships will be recycled in a safe way, ensuring workers are well protected and that no hazardous materials escape into the environment. In Canada, Speaker, there are rules at all levels of government that ensure ship recycling activities are done in a safe and environmentally sound way. At the federal level, there are existing laws and regulations that prohibit the release of pollutants into the marine environment, which apply to vessels that are located at recycling facilities. The passage of the Wrecked, Abandoned, or Hazardous Vessels Act in 2019 also strengthened responsibilities and liabilities for owners to properly manage their vessels at end of life. Further, it prohibits vessel abandonment. This complements investments the government is making to enhance vessel recycling options, particularly with respect to vessels constructed in fiberglass. Provinces and territories, for their part, are responsible for the protection of workers and occupational health and safety at ship recycling facilities. They also regulate the handling, storage, transportation, and disposal of hazardous waste produced when recycling a ship. Provinces and territories also regulate and authorize waste management operations such as landfills and recycling activities. Local governments also have a role to play, Madam Speaker. They establish collection, recycling, composting, and disposal programs within their jurisdictions. They are also responsible for land use and zoning within their jurisdictions. With respect to the ship recycling facility in Union Bay, the approvals to conduct ship recycling fall under provincial and local powers since the facility is located on provincial land. Thank you, Speaker.
For Courtenay-Alberni.
Around the world, they've taken leadership. I hope this government decides to do the same, because Canada needs to do that. They need to prepare a list of certified shipbreaking yards. They need to do extensive background checks of ownership, including by FinTrack. Comprehensive and meaningful pollution insurance coverage needs to be in place. And all new sites need to meet rigorous multi-jurisdictional rules, Madam Speaker, led by Canada. And Canada must adopt and enforce the EU ship recycling regulation and help those long-term, reputable shipbreakers with grants and loans to transition to this new standard. Even Bangladesh has EU-compliant shipbreaking facilities. Each vessel must prove that it has a lifelong Canadian vessel not imported to Canada under some obscure clause. And all non-Canadian end of vessels need to be required a prior written consent from the Minister for importation. Thank you, Madam Speaker. We hope there'll be some action from the government.
Secretary?
Thank you very much, Speaker. And Canada is a leader when it comes to protecting our coast and waterways. Recent investments in coastal protection through Canada's Oceans Protection Plan, the strengthening of the Canada Navigable Waters Act, and the implementation of the Wrecked, Abandoned, and Hazardous Vessels Act show our government's resolve towards protecting our waterways. Speaker, one way we continue to show this commitment is through ongoing work with our provincial and territorial partners to explore opportunities for further enhancements to the ship recycling rules across various jurisdictions. This includes examining requirements under the European Union's ship recycling regulation and the 2009 Hong Kong International Convention for the safe and environmentally sound recycling of ships. Speaker, we are also exploring solutions to increase the